Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having an amazing, abundant day. In today's video, baby, we're going to be talking about how to stop toxic cycles and start setting boundaries, okay? It's about time to cut it out. You're already probably acknowledging that you're in something very unhealthy, very toxic, very painful, very unhealthy, like I said, for you, for your spirit, for your mind, for your body, and for you to move forward on your path. So it's time to learn how to unlearn those unhealthy habits and how to start implementing new great habits so you can start getting these new beginnings and new opportunities that are going to be coming for you and coming in for you August 2020. Okay, you guys have a lot of lingering baggage going on, so it's about time to release it. This butterfly is gorgeous. It looks like a bird. It's so pretty and it's super huge. They better do anything. Okay, so in today's video, like I said, we're going to learn how to stop toxic cycles, how to break free from them, and tips and tricks you can learn right now so you can start unlearning those toxic habits that you have accumulated throughout your life or that you have grown up with. It's time to let go of those things and welcome in new beautiful energy. So let's jump right into the video. But I don't know why I want to keep jumping into the video without introducing who I am. I'm sorry. Anyway, my name is Nadi. I am a witch and root worker who loves to create Black women as supernatural beings. So if that's something you're into, definitely like and subscribe to see more from me. I also speak on spirituality, being your best self, like I said, witchcraft, hoodoo, and all that good shit. So let's get into the video now. So a lot of people don't know what a toxic cycle is or can see what is toxic, and that is how we know that we are continuously stuck in this cycle. So what is a toxic cycle? A toxic cycle is basically when you're stuck in a cycle of pain, anger, hurt, and manipulation, gaslighting. Sometimes this can lead to emotional, mental, and physical abuse. And by the way, disclaimer, I'm gonna be talking about some triggering topics, so I'm gonna put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video. But yeah, this topic may be triggering for some, so definitely keep that in mind. But that's what pretty much toxic cycles are. And basically you're in a cycle where you're constantly hurt, you're constantly in pain, and then one day you're good and you think you're good with this person, but in reality you're not, because this person keeps hurting you and you're learning toxic habits from them that you're going to give off to other people, and you'll go out in the world and start hurting other people. But we don't want to do that, okay? We want to cut it out, and I know you want to cut it out because it gets annoying, it gets tiring, and now you're starting to see the patterns that you haven't seen before, and you want to work on those patterns. So I'm gonna help you guys work on those patterns. So I'm gonna give you an example of how something can be like a relationship, and this can be any relationship. This can be a family relationship, a friendship, a relationship, a loving companionship, any of those relationships. If it's in a relationship and it doesn't feel like you're loved, like you're being shown compassion, kindness, 9 times out of 10 is unhealthy, and you both learn unhealthy habits that you need to break. So how do we stop this cycle? The first thing you need to do, you have to acknowledge that you're in a cycle. A lot of people don't acknowledge that they're in this continuous cycle of pain and hurt and anger. And it does take a long time for some people to learn that, especially if you have grown up in that cycle from a young age, okay? And normally this cycle shows itself in like family matters or family relationships because they're your blood. So you think that whatever they do, they can be excused and you don't have to set boundaries with them, but that's wrong, and that's something that I had to learn as well. First things first, I want you to acknowledge that you are in a toxic cycle or an unhealthy cycle. So a way you can acknowledge that you're in a cycle, when a situation happens, or if you're thinking about a past situation, how did you feel in that situation? Were you hurt? Were you angry? Did you feel like you weren't loved? Like physically it made you want to throw up, you had anxiety, it made you depressed. What feelings did you feel during that situation? And did you feel like this isn't right, this isn't supposed to happen to me, this isn't what love is? Did you feel that during that situation? If the answer is yes, we got some toxic shit, we got some unhealthy habits, we got some very gaslighting, manipulating people, okay? We got some abusers. Basically that's it, somebody's abusing you. And I'm not trying to be mean about it, but that's what it is. I had to acknowledge this myself. So after you acknowledge how you felt during those past experiences, and after you acknowledge your feeling during those past experiences, the next thing you want to do is to forgive yourself for what happened. So a lot of victims place the blame on themselves for what is happening in those situations, and I want to let you know it is not your fault that those things are happening to you. You did not attract that into your life. Those people grew up that way, and then they tried to place and project it onto other people. So you were unfortunately just the person they projected it onto. No, you did not deserve any of those things that happened to you. Know that you are the victim in the situation, and know that you have the power to set boundaries so they can stop hurting you. Be kind to yourself. Tell yourself that it's okay. You were hurt. Acknowledge your feelings, honor your emotions. Say, it's okay that I was hurt. It's okay that I felt this way. I need to bring up these emotions, these uncomfortable emotions, so I can acknowledge that what happened wasn't right. It wasn't not supposed to happen to me. I did not deserve this, okay? That's the first step you need to take. And forgive yourself and acknowledge that you were a victim. So the next thing you can do is compare your emotions from a recent situation from your past experiences, just in case it didn't come to you as quickly as you thought. So if a situation just happened recently, how did you feel during that situation? And then compare those with the past experiences that you had where a situation like that has blown up out of proportion. So did you feel the same way every single time those things happen, and you didn't notice that you were, or you buried those feelings down and you didn't acknowledge them just so you can go back to being like everything is good and everything is fine, when everything really is not? Because now you have baggage onto you. Now you have more trauma, now you have more pain, now you have more anger to work through, but you didn't acknowledge that at first. You buried it deep down instead of bringing it up and acknowledging those uncomfortable feelings and releasing those uncomfortable feelings. So compare your past experiences with something that may have happened recently. That way it can kind of connect your brain to like, this ain't right, okay? This is kind of toxic, this is kind of healthy, this is painful, this is horrible, okay? Those are the feelings that you need to feel in order to go down this path, okay? Feel all those negative, quote unquote, feel all those weird, uncomfortable feelings and bring them up to the surface, because that's what's going to help you release this cycle. You acknowledging that you were in pain, okay? And it's okay to acknowledge that. It's okay to realize that you were a victim, and it's okay to acknowledge that you were in pain at one point in your life. So while you're doing this and acknowledging all this pain and anger, journal down your feelings and journal down what you're acknowledging and what you're bringing to the forefront. So get you a nice journal. I personally get my journals from Michael's. They're super affordable and they're just really cute, so that's really why I got them, because they're cute as hell. But I journal down my emotions each time something happens. So whether it's happy, whether it's pain or anger, I journal it down and I release those emotions instead of holding it on. So what you want to do while you're on this path of acknowledging your pain and your trauma, write down every single thing that you have brought up to the surface, even the experiences if you can, if you're powerful enough to do that. Write down your emotions that you felt at that time. Write down how it made you feel, why did you feel that way, all that good quote unquote stuff. So journaling is a very useful tool because you're not holding it in, you're releasing it. If you don't have somebody to talk to, journaling is definitely a good way to release all that anger and that pain and that emotional trauma. So the next thing you want to do is take accountability. Open those old wounds and go forward with healing with them. It's time to do some shadow work. It's time to face your fears and to face that anxiety and face that pain. So how can you take accountability for your actions that came out of what has happened? Okay, so sometimes you have learned those toxic habits and now they're a part of you because you see other person doing it. So now you're going to give it to another person. Now you have to take accountability for the habits that you may have picked up from this person. And by doing that, you're going to be a better person, okay? So start taking accountability for things that you can control and what you can release in order to move forward. Start doing some shadow work, which is basically facing your fears and facing your trauma that you have had in the past. Now, it's not going to be easy. You may get anxiety, you may get scared, and it's okay, but just take it one step at a time, all right? But it's time to do that shadow work and it's time to heal. And the only way you can do that is if you face your fears head on. So the next thing you want to do is set boundaries. How can you protect your peace? How can you protect your space? And how can you protect yourself from those people who want to continue to be toxic and continue to stay in that cycle? How can you break free from it? If the person that is showing you these toxic habits do not acknowledge that they are showing you these toxic habits, or hurting you and manipulating you and gaslighting you, and do not want to change, at that point you have to protect yourself and your peace and your boundaries. Okay, know that you did all you can to show that this person has hurt you, but sometimes they don't want to break free. They don't want to get away from that cycle. So what you have to do is protect your peace. And how do you do that? Is by not engaging, not trying to be pulled into those petty arguments and that petty hurt that they're trying to do. And once you start setting boundaries, they will not like it. And I'm gonna be real with you, they will not like it. They will try to bring you into arguments that are super, super petty, or they'll try to hurt you once again. But you have to show them that they do not have that control over you, and that you will not just react just so they can get a reaction out of you. So this is how you do that. You ignore, you do not engage. You remind yourself that you want to break free of this cycle. You do not want to stay in that cycle, because once you engage, you allow them into your energy and you allow them into your bubble. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be, you're going to easily just stop engaging with them. It's not going to happen like that. I personally had to go through many lessons and trials. Spirit has to gave me many lessons and many experiences so I can realize I need to stop engaging. So be kind to yourself if you do end up engaging, but just stop yourself right there. When you realize you are, stop yourself, okay? Do not allow them to take you out of that healing and take you out of that growth that you're trying to go towards, okay? Do not allow them to stray you from your path of healing and breaking out that cycle, because they will try to do that. But you have to be strong enough, you have to be disciplined, and you have to stand firm in your beliefs that I'm going to break out of this toxic cycle and be happy. So that's what you got to do, okay? Please don't play with me, because I will pop up and I will tell you in your dreams, stop playing. Now, sometimes you may have to cut them off, and know that it is okay to do that. It is okay to cut off family members, friendships, lovers, and depending on how severe the pain and the trauma is, the abuse is, you can just leave, you can just dip, okay? It depends on how severe, and depends on how you think you should handle the situation. But definitely cut them off out of your circle and out of your energy, because you don't want that type of person around you. You don't want that type of person who wants to continue to stay in a toxic cycle, stuck into your bubble and stuck into your energy, because they do not deserve you. You're trying to break free. You're trying to move forward. They're trying to stay where they are. You ain't got time for that. You got to move on. So cut them off. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy depending on how much you love this person, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. And eventually that emotional tie that you have to them will be gone. It'll be compute. You can manifest it, actually. You can just ask Spirit, hey, can you just make me stop loving this person and all that good stuff? Because that's what I did, and I don't give a fuck. So yeah, definitely if you can, cut this person off. So the next step is, how can you unlearn these toxic habits that you may have picked up from this person? Now, a lot of us have toxic habits from childhood that we took into our adulthood, because that's all we know, that's all we learned. And you may be at that point where you're acknowledging that these habits that you have are not good, they're not healthy, they're not the best that you want to show with people. You want to lead with compassion and love, and not this anger and pain that you have only known all your life. So the way to do that is figure out, how do you want to love and how do you want to show love? And you can do that by journaling out your ideal family. So if this is about your family being toxic, journal out your ideal family. How would you want your family to be? You start implementing those characteristics that you wrote down, and you go about it by, okay, so I want my family to be kind and loving. How can I be kind and loving? Should I be nice to people? Should I do this, do that? You start doing that, okay? You have to actively change your ways. And I'm not going to say this is going to be easy, but you have to put in that work, and you have to be disciplined, and you have to actively feel in your soul that you can change and that you can be this better person and unlearn these toxic habits. When you feel yourself start slipping back into that toxic habit or that unhealthy mindset, stop yourself, tell yourself, like, no, this is the old me. I'm going to keep going forward with the new me, okay? And that's all it takes, because once you figure out how you need to be that new you, and it starts to become you, you won't go back to that past person. They may just pop up. Your past self may be popping up, but you'll be like, go get a job. So please, y'all, work on journaling and work on figuring out how you want to show your love and how you want to show your compassion. Okay, and this comes from looking deep within, and you have to probably sit with yourself for probably like an hour or two and figure out how you want to show love and how you want to unlearn these toxic habits. So if it's like ignoring people when they hurt you or make you mad, what you need to do is communicate. So instead of shutting down and closing your mouth and not speaking to them at all, say, okay, hey, you hurt me and this is how you hurt me. Now you did your part and you said what you wanted to feel, instead of ignoring them and gaslighting them and manipulating them. Now their reaction, that's their reaction. You worried about your reaction and how you are trying to be better, okay? Because I definitely get that. Like me personally, I had a tough time communicating when people be pissing me off or making me mad. I'm an air sign, I'm just shut you out. So I had to work on saying, hey, you hurt me, why did you hurt me? Can you not hurt me again? Stuff like that. So you can also meditate as well to ground yourself and to work on balancing out all your emotions and your chakras. I did a video on meditation. I'm going to link it up here or over here actually, and you guys can work on meditating and learning how to ground yourself and balance yourself out, because meditation is a very great tool in order for you to not react, but you think, okay, you just calm down. So I highly recommend meditation for those who have trouble with grounding and balancing out yourself and finding peace within yourself. Meditation is a super useful tool in order to do the inner work and to do shadow work, so you can calm your anxiety and go about your day being nice and calm and peaceful. Okay, you can even do sleep meditation if you can't really focus, like sitting down and focusing for 10 minutes. I personally do right now sleep meditation every single night for each chakra. And baby, I'll be waking up on my shit, especially my sacral, I want to say sacral chakra. My sexuality be on 10. But anyway, so yeah, make sure you do the inner work, guys. So the inner work is very key and crucial to this toxic cycle. So you're just not breaking out of the cycle. You're going to stop the cycle from within you and start bringing it on to the next generation or to your friendships or to your next relationships. You're going to start doing it with you as well. So yeah guys, that is it for the video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, and I hope you got some useful information out of this. This is something that really actually I've been working a lot with my spirituality, and that's actually what started me on my spiritual path, was trying to break out toxic generational cycles within my family, and I personally have the power and strength to finally do it. I'm so happy and grateful right now that Spirit has helped me down this path in order to release this pain, anger, and to not carry it on to my children or into the people that I love. So I hope this helps you as well, so you can stop being hurt and start hurting other people. Okay, so yeah, let me know if anything in this video really resonated with you, and what other videos you guys would like to see from me. Actually, what is one toxic habit that you would like to break? Comment down below, and know that if I like it, I believe you're gonna break that shit. Okay, so yeah, be honest, be kind with yourself, and know that you are worthy of forgiveness and worthy of having a nice, beautiful, peaceful life without unhealthy habits and abuse, just because people don't know how to handle themselves. Okay, so yeah, make sure to stop by my shop if you want to see Black women as supernatural ethereal beings. And if you want to see more from me, I do have a newsletter, which every Monday and Friday I send out blog posts, information on hoodoo and witchcraft, and stuff like this. And that is about it, y'all. I love you guys so much, and please have a happy, beautiful, abundant day. Mwah.